Hey, everyone. I'm Becca, he's Matt, and this is Becca's Book Club Adventure.
Hello. It's been a week. I still feel wrung out from that 1,200-page reading marathon I did. But so I've been taking a break from reading, but I know you have been going on some side quests.
Yeah, so I finally got a book last Friday from the library that I've been waiting on for 4 months, called Filthy Rich Fae, and it 100% delivers on exactly what you think it is. It is a romance book that happens to have some fantasy with it. I also, on our last long drive, we finished The Last Witch, which is the beginning book to The Witcher. So 2 very different novels, because that's definitely high fantasy, no romance of any kind.
Okay.
And so the 2 books are very different vibes. So which one do you want to hear about first?
I think I'm the most interested in this crazy rich fae. Because I can't get it out of my head that it's like Crazy Rich Asians, the movie.
Right?
Okay, so we got romance with some fantasy, and then we'll finish with fantasy straight up.
All right. So the book
let's do it.
Is Filthy Rich Fae by Geneva Lee, which I have also read the series, listened to the series, Filthy Rich Vampire, and I'm working on the 3rd book for that, which, if you liked that series, you're gonna also like this series. Very similar premises for them. So
Is it the same author? Okay, thank heavens it's the same author. So we have a pandemic.
Maybe not Sarah J. Maas level of writing, but after the end of this book, I think the worlds might converge, which I'm super excited about.
So we have a filthy rich universe.
Right?
I love it. Okay. All right, bring it on.
Every kid's dream. All right. So the synopsis of the book, I'll read you this little snippet, is Kate Holloway knows the unspoken rule of New Orleans. Avoid the powerful Gage family at all costs. Of course, that was before her brother got caught in the chaos. Now Kate has no choice but to confront the dark and forbidding prince of New Orleans himself and beg for her brother's life. But Lachlan Gage is as lethal as he is beautiful, and the only currency he's interested in is her soul. Because Lachlan isn't just some ruthless criminal, he's Fae, and he has his own secret reasons for binding her to him. Tricked and desperate, Kate is torn between humanity and the breathtaking otherworld. A place filled with shadows and secrets, with members of each Fae court plotting against her as her captors' motives for trapping her become more mysterious. And if she can't break this sinister bargain, in the next 30 days, she'll be bound to the inscrutable yet infuriatingly tempting Fae prince.
Okay. Okay.
So the setup for this book is so wildly fast. So you start off in the beginning of an ER shift in the hospital. Kate Holloway is a nurse, and she's an adrenaline junkie, just like most ER staff are. And so kind of talks about how her adrenaline's wearing down because the shift's starting to end, blah, blah, blah. And her brother comes in on a gurney.
Okay, sure.
So we're 2 pages in and we already have some messed up stuff going. And we start to get some background to Kate Holloway's past. So Kate grew up in the foster system. And so she was passed around from home to home and was known for getting in trouble. And eventually made it to a character named Gran. And Gran gave her a safe place to call home and also adopted her brother. So that's how the 2 of them came to be together. And
okay,
when
so
Gran
they're not they're foster siblings, not biological siblings. Okay.
You got it.
Right on.
And at some point, Gran passes away and makes Kate promise that she will take care of Channing as best she can.
Okay, so when your snippet said that she has to go beg the dude to save her brother's life, it's because her brother is mortally... It's not like she's bartering, like her brother's not a captive that she's bartering for his life.
No. No.
Okay. All
So
right.
he comes into the ER, and so does one of Gage's employees at the same time. Both of them have gunshot wounds. And so Kate knows that that means that Channing is probably wrapped up into the Gage's family. And in order to escape, she's going to go beg for him to be let go, essentially, of whatever bargaining is going in there. And while we're in the ER, we also learn about some lovely drugs of choice on the street, right? So clover is the most common drug of choice, and the Gage family is known for being one of the sources of it. And lately, there's been a new strain that's been nicknamed Trinity because of how deadly it is, and it doesn't give you that four-leaf lucky high. It looks like it will, but it actually is quite lethal. So that's an interesting kind of subplot that goes along with the book that's really interesting. So Kate marches down to beg for Channing's forgiveness. And she ends up wrapped up in Gage's world.
Is this a one and done book, or does it leave like a cliffhanger for book 2?
It leaves a major cliffhanger. There is a second book. I'm kind of hoping there might be more than a second book, but as far as I can see right now, it's just a second.
Okay, Crazy Rich Vampires. Is that a one and done, or is that a small series?
It's a small series. There are 3 books.
Okay. All right. So what makes the Gages crazy and rich?
So it takes a long while for you to kind of get that, but basically, like many Fae and other stories, they're crazy old and they run the drug cartel. So put those 2 things together, you got endless money.
Okay. I'm sorry, repeat our lead female character's name.
Kate.
Kate. Is Kate special? Is she not like other girls?
So, um, at first you're like, "Da fuck," and, as we go on, yes, Kate is special.
Okay.
She's not like other girls, but you don't really learn that until the last page.
Is she crazy beautiful?
No.
No. Is Gage crazy handsome?
Yes. In fact,
Yeah.
I don't think Kate is described at all in the book. Like, I don't remember her being described as in any way, shape, or form. But Gage has beautiful, beautiful green eyes.
Oh, I love me some green eyes. Your sister has green eyes. I'm down. Um, Actually, y'all kind of have hazel eyes. Uh, all of you siblings. Um, what's the pace like? So the setup is really fast. Is the rest of the book the same pace, real fast?
Yep, I finished the book in like 72 hours.
How many pages? We talking like 250, 400, 500,
350.
350?
So not a hard read.
Is this a hold on, what's the spice level? Is there you said it's a romance book. So is there any pepper rating we need to talk about?
I'm gonna go with like a 1 or a 2. The 2 characters
Okay.
don't really get it on till maybe the end. I actually don't think they did, but there was lots of yearning and lots of foreplay.
Hey, foreplay is good. I want to say that there's going to be comedy in this. Is this funny, or is it like ridiculous and therefore we laugh kind of funny? Or is
More
it
the
not any of that? Okay. All right. All right. I have personally started a list on Storygraph. I can show you kind of how to hack this system. Um, where I've started putting books on my TBR and then giving it a vacation read tag so that I can go
Oh,
find this tag and have just a list of books that I want to take to the beach. And I think this is going to have to be one of
this will be a perfect one for that. Like,
them.
if you get interrupted in the middle of a chapter, it's not like you have to reread to figure out what was going on. Like, the plot line is not that difficult. I would probably give it an overall rating of like a 4, but I would
Four.
probably bump it up to a 4.5 because it delivers on exactly what you expect it to be.
This is not like a Crescent City level book, but it's a book that scratches an itch.
Yes.
Yeah, right on. Do you think this book is readable while a person is hypothetically doing some light day drinking? All right, let's bring it on. Okay. It's a 4 to 5 vacation read. Oof. Heck yeah.
Right?
Cuz we're going on vacation this this summer. You and Kevin are not coming because you have another engagement up north. Your brother and his fiance are getting married like 1 month later. So they're not going to be coming. So it's a double date between me, Elizabeth, your mom, and your dad. So we all know how this is going to play out, right? Your mom and Elizabeth are going to go sit on the beach. Your dad is going to stay inside, like doing genealogy stuff after he takes his morning bike ride. I don't really want to go be Sandy all day. So I'm going to go down by myself next to the pool with a cooler full of beer and some awesome romanticy books. And this is going to be one of them. It's going to be great.
Love it.
Okay. So Filthy Rich Fae, we've covered. What was the second book again? That you said is close to the like The Witcher kind of a thing.
Yes. So the last book is called The Last Witch, and it is
Witch.
in the Witcher series. It's kind of labeled as the 0.5 book because it's a collection of
Ah,
short stories to get you into the series.
okay.
Have you seen the Witcher TV series?
No, because Henry Cavill came out and said this is BS, and he stopped supporting it. Uh, and I don't know if that was like all the seasons or if that like started halfway through like season 3 or something. But ever since I heard his testimony, I just told myself not worth it. Is my decision incorrect?
I enjoyed season 1 and 2. Kevin and I have attempted to watch season 3 multiple times to no avail.
Okay.
So I would say season 1 and 2 are worth watching. But
Okay. All right.
if you
I'll
get
see if
stuck
I
at
can
the
force your sister.
same buffering point as we do, don't feel bad.
All right. I'm going to give it a shot.
So the reason this interest came up to actually read the book, so we watched season 1, we watched season 2, and then most winters, Kevin and I will actually pick a computer game to play. And we played The Witcher after we watched the TV series, which, in publication-ish order, you have the Witcher books, right, which are originally written by a Polish writer, Andrew. So they're not translated till the early 2000s. So they've been out for a very long time. And then the next media that we jump to in English, anyhow, is actually the computer game. And then we get on to the TV production later. And the computer game is top notch. So I'm really
Okay.
picky about my computer games that I'll play with Kevin. So picky because I grew up playing some video games, but I'm not excellent at playing video games. So
Yeah.
while I understand the like shift, please hit this button, blah 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 stuff, I'm also like, can I button mash my way through this fight? I'm gonna button mash my way through this fight.
Yep.
I know that's not the answer, but that is what I will try to do. And
No,
so,
but I'm right on board with that strategy, and the reason is our general age group, that was college for all of us, was Super Mario Brothers, like Smash Bros. We were all quasi drunk. We were all smashing buttons.
yep.
It's a good time. Uh,
So because of that, I particularly enjoyed what are called turn-based games, and so in a fight scene, it'll give different players different turns, and it's not like a speed game. So you can actually like follow the magic system, understand your character, tend to still play the assassins, so get really close and a little jabby jab.
okay, yeah.
Whereas Kevin will play like the actual magic character typically. So I can't remember if the Witcher video game or computer game had a turn-based style to it, but whatever it was, I was able to keep up with it. I didn't feel like I needed to like button mash my way through it.
Okay.
There was also a card game and lots of side quests, as you can imagine, because if you don't know this, the premise of The Witcher is we follow this character called Geralt, the Witcher. He's To be a Witcher, you're known for your magical powers, which are enhanced from long training and mysterious elixirs.
Yes.
And
Okay.
so he's this brilliant fighter, merciless assassin, and he targets different monsters. So in the computer game, you get to go after all of these monsters. and these monsters are created from different folklore, essentially. And so you get like one part, one part like badass assassin, and one part like the Grimm brothers weird fairy tales. So the last wish opens up with I think there are like 7 or 8 short stories in here, and like some of them are like, so we listened to it while we were driving. Some of them were like 10 minutes long. So like not nothing. And then others of them were like an hour and a half. So I really remember the hour and a half ones. So like one of the first ones is about when he goes up against a Strieger. And a Strieger is this baby that's kind of born out of, they tell you in it, but I can't remember because it's part of the discussion of the story, if it's out of wedlock or is some type of heinous scenario. But in this particular story, the Strieger is born because a brother and sister have a child out of wedlock. And of course, she's a princess. So
Ah.
this child is also a princess, and the king doesn't want to kill the child because she has noble blood. And so Geralt is hired to attempt to fix the magic that made her a Strieger and return her back to princesshood. So like that's the premise of one of the short stories. Another premise is about making a choice between a lesser evil, because he's basically hired by 2 different people to kill the other person, and so he has to decide which mission is he going to carry out or not. And that's actually the first episode of the TV series, which is really interesting to watch him kind of
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
play around with that ethical dynamics of like who do you feel like is less bad and would stay in the world, and do you get to make that decision or do you not get to make that decision? And then the book is named after the last story in it, which is called the Last Wish, and it's about jejun that they find, and it's kind of like um rub the genie bottle, you get 3 wishes kind of scenario. And so the way the story plays out, the last wish is actually never wished. And so what do you do with a wish that's never wished?
Does this as a prequel, we'll say, would you recommend reading it having never read any of the Witcher books? Or is this one of those things where you're going to want to like read things in published order because then the prequel has more meaning and hits harder and that kind of thing?
I haven't read many details about it, and I probably should have before we even started this podcast. But my understanding is this collection of short stories is maybe what set him on his path of creating this whole world and narrative. And so to me, it feels like a lot of world building, character building. The stories don't really like rise and fall with much meaningful impact. And so I don't think that they would hit differently later. I think they're really good for helping to set up the world before you get in.
That's fascinating. I like that. Okay. If that's the case, does this prequel like feel less than the other books? Maybe a different way to phrase that question is is it going to feel like a first attempt type of thing, or does it feel amateurish? Anything like that?
No.
No. Okay.
It feels very complete in its thought process. Kind of like, I don't want to say like a picture book, kind of, but like the plot line is there, it's thought through. Like, we're setting up this world and wonderful, but it doesn't have like some type of grand emotional draw to you, but it is very interesting. So after we finished this, we immediately started the next book in the series.
Okay. How would you
And we
rate the
also
prequel?
listened. I would probably rate it a 3.5
Solid.
because
Okay.
we listened to it, and I think this is a book you need to consume by reading it.
Why so?
I think there was too much detail for me to be able to listen to it, put the picture together while I'm in a car.
I gotcha. Okay. I might throw this on the TBR. I've wanted to throw The Witcher on the TBR for a while and just never have. But this gives me a little bit more hope. Like this gives me like I can dip my toes in the water and be like, do I want to read this in this series or not, kind of thing. And I like that.
Yeah, it'll give you a good vibe. You can stop at the end of this book if you're like, no, this is not for me, and not feel like you're missing out on the rest of the series, which is good. So I did appreciate that. Like it feels very complete.
Excellent. Okay. Of the 2 books, The Last Wish and Crazy Rich Fae. Man, that is hard to say. Crazy
Filthy.
Rich,
Filthy.
Filthy Rich Fae. Which one did you like more?
Probably the Filthy Rich Fae.
Do you think it's actually better, or did you just have a really strong itch that needed scratched?
I had a strong itch.
There you go. All
Is
right.
the quality of writing better? I don't know. As a reader, am I a good judge of quality of writing? No. I only know when it's really bad. Otherwise, it's great.
Do you have any more side quests coming up, or are you just head down into Crescent City?
No, I just went through all of my renewals popped up. I pushed them all back by 25 days.
Okay.
Should I tell you what's all on my Libby holds?
Yeah. What's your Libby reservations?
All right, so we already knew Onyx Storm was on it, and we're gonna read that together. Then the final book in a series called The Dryad Storm is also on my list. That is the Black Witch Chronicles, and I loved that series. Highly recommend getting started there. The other one is Quicksilver, which I'm pretty sure you've pitched.
Yeah, I've seen that one all over social media. Yeah.
Another one I've seen on social media a lot is Powerless.
I have not heard of that one.
And then Filthy Rich Vampires for Eternity, the third book. The Cursed, which is the second book of the series that we have read together.
Yeah.
Shadow in the Ember, which is by Jennifer Armentrout, which I loved her other series of From Bone and Ash. So this is kind of like a companion series that goes back further in history and talks about the gods.
Yeah, I have just about all of Jennifer Armentrout's stuff on my TBR list. I haven't read any of her stuff, and I feel like that's probably a little bit sacrilegious in the romantasy world.
She does it well. So well. One of her books in the Bone and Ash series, towards the end of it, you get an entire retelling of the first book from someone else's point of view. And my friends were like, I think that's a waste of time. And I loved every minute of it.
There's a couple of there's a couple books in the Wheel of Time series where one is two of them are like that, and there is a huge backlash from the fandom, and I think that people don't like it because the first book comes out and then they have to wait a year, 2 years, and then it's like they get the same story. But when people like us are coming at it way after the fact and you just go read, it who cares? It's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, she did it very smartly because it's like the fourth book in the series. So you get a completed plot line at that point, and you're actually kind of done with the plot line. And so it takes you back to the original book so that you can have that fun again.
That's cool.
And then, of course, the last book I have is Filthy Rich Fae, Fallen Court.
Is that the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds pretty complete.
It's a big loan list.
It's a long list. One at a time. We'll get through them one at a time.
Right? Of which, Crescent City. I think I'm 100 pages into part 2.
I was going to start part 2 tomorrow.
There you go.
I read a non-fantasy, non-romance, non-romantasy book over the weekend to give myself a little of a palate cleanser.
So and I'm like, say you need cleanser.
Like now we can dive right back in because I think part 2 of House of Flame and Shadow is 500 or 600 pages, something crazy.
I double checked it. It's actually, I think it's 300, 350. So I think it's the last chunk that's really long.
Oh, okay.
Looking forward to it.
Anybody happens to click on this and has any comments about Filthy Rich Fae or The Last Wish, throw some comments. Send us an email. We are bookclubbybecca@gmail.com, or you could even slide into our DMs on Instagram. We are at Becca's Book Club Adventure. We look forward to anything you might have to say. So hit us up.
Until next time.
See you later.